I am the least racist person there is anywhere in the world.
U.S. President Donald Trump responds to allegations he made racist attacks against his political opponents. Hello, I'm Anand Naidu, and this is The Heat. President Trump is embroiled in a row over comments he posted on Twitter, first going after a group of minority female Democratic members of Congress, and then a tirade against a prominent African-American congressman, both attacks prompting accusations of racism. For more, we turn now to CGTN's Roy Ruttenberg, who's in our newsroom. And Roy, let's take a step back and find out, how did we get here?
Well, how we got here, of course, depends on how much time you have. Let's pick a starting point. The 2018 midterm elections brought in a wave of new progressive members of Congress, among them 4 women. They've been branded the Squad. They are racially diverse, unabashedly vocal, and critical in particular of this president and his policies, especially on issues that affect people of color, including immigration. Now, some people, including Donald Trump, well, they haven't liked what they've had to say. They've even accused them of being un-American. And a few weeks ago, Trump tweeted this. So interesting to see progressive Democrat congresswomen who originally came from countries whose governments are a complete and total catastrophe, viciously telling the people of the United States how our government is to be run. Why don't they go back and help fix the totally broken and crime-infested places from which they came? That last part really triggered people, infested places from which they came. We should note, of course, 3 of the 4 congresswomen are American-born, and 1 is a Somali refugee who came to the U.S. legally and is now, of course, an American citizen. And infested, we'd hear that word again very soon. But hang on, let's fast forward. The so-called Squad and other Democratic lawmakers go down to the border to visit some of the facilities that are detaining undocumented migrants, including children separated from their families, and the group describe quite publicly the conditions they see of people with no access to showers, toothbrushes, toothpaste, clean clothes. That's something the Trump administration denies. Still, that prompted lawmakers here in Washington to hold a hearing in which Kevin McAleenan, the new acting Secretary of Homeland Security, testified. And here's a snippet of that exchange.
When we hear about stories coming out from you and your agency that everything is pretty good and you're doing a great job, I guess you feel like you're doing a great job, right? Is that what you're saying?
We're doing our level best in a very challenging.
What does that mean? What does that mean when a child is sitting in their own feces, can't take a shower? Come on, man. What's that about? None of us would have our children in that position. They are human beings.
Elijah Cummings is a senior Democratic lawmaker. He's a prominent African-American congressman representing a district that includes nearby Baltimore, a predominantly African-American city. In an apparent response to that exchange, Trump tweeted this. Cummings has been a brutal bully, shouting and screaming at the great men and women of Border Patrol. His Baltimore district is far worse. The border is clean, efficient, and well-run, just very crowded. Cumming district, Trump misspelling his name there, is a disgusting rat and rodent infested mess. There's that word again, infested, and critics say it's just the latest in a pattern by the president using derogatory language or references when referring to Americans of color. Referring to Cummings' district, Trump went on to say, no human being would ever want to live there. Cummings, of course, is not the mayor of Baltimore, nor even a city official. He represents Maryland's 7th district in the U.S. Congress in Washington, but he also chairs the House Oversight Committee. That's the very committee investigating Trump's daughter Ivanka and her husband Jared Kushner, both of them advisors to the president. Now, there is a long history of accusations of racism lodged at Trump, from his time as a property developer to his founding role in a movement questioning Barack Obama's citizenship and birthplace. Trump has denounced those accusations and these new ones, and on Tuesday he doubled down on his Baltimore comments.
What I've done for African Americans in 2.5 years, no president has been able to do anything like it. Unemployment at the lowest level in the history of our country for African Americans. Nobody can beat that. You look at poverty levels, they're doing better than they've ever done before. So many things, opportunity zones, criminal justice reform. They are so happy at what I've been able to do in Baltimore and other Democratic-run, corrupt cities. The money has been stolen, what they've done. It's been wasted and it's been stolen.
Some analysts suggest that Trump is being intentionally divisive in an effort to appeal to and perhaps even ignite his base. The 2020 presidential election is still more than a year away. Anand?
Thanks, Ray. That's CGTN's Ray Ruttenberg reporting from our newsroom.